The days passed quietly, and Abram waited. He did not know how or when, but he believed the Lord would speak again.
And the Lord said, "Look now toward the heavens and count the stars, if you are able. So shall your descendants be."
As the sun set, a deep sleep fell upon Abram.
And behold, a smoking firepot and a blazing torch passed between the pieces.
On that day, the Lord made a covenant with Abram, saying, "To your descendants I give this land." And Abram built an altar to the Lord, who had appeared to him, and he worshipped there.
And the Lord said to Abram, "To your descendants I will give this land." And he looked upon it with awe.
Abram came to the great tree of Moreh, and there the Lord appeared to him once more.
There Abram built an altar to the Lord, who had appeared to him, and he worshipped.
And the Canaanites were then in the land, dwelling in the land that God had promised.
And the Lord said to Abram, "To your offspring I will give this land."
And Abram journeyed on, step by step, carrying with him the promise of God.
And there, in the land God had promised, Abram made his first camp, resting in the shadow of faith.
And Abram gave thanks, offering praise to the God who had guided him to this promised place.
And under the stars, Abram knew his God was near.
And the Lord said, "Your descendants will be as the dust of the earth, too many to count."
And so they journeyed through the land, trusting the path laid before them.
Before them lay the land and the mountains, a land promised, but still distant.
And so they pressed on, step by step, into the land that had been shown to them.
And before them lay the valley, rich and wide, sacred and silent, land promised by the Eternal One.
And so they rested, under the shade of trees by quiet waters, in the land of promise.
Alone with his God, Abram prayed, not for more, but in quiet thanks for what had been promised.
And in the silence, the voice of the Lord reached Abram's soul. And then it came, not a sound, but a direction.
The breath of God guiding him eastward, into the land yet unseen. Abram gathered his people, and as morning broke, they made ready, called not by sight, but by faith.
And so, with one final look behind, Abram turned his heart from what was known.
They journeyed forth, leaving behind comfort and kin, following only the promise of a land unseen. They entered the shadow of the mountains, where the path grew steep, and faith alone lit the way forward. Beneath stone walls carved by time, they pressed on, surrounded by danger, yet carried by purpose. And there, beneath the heavens, God spoke again, not in thunder, but in vision and flame.